Welcome to Listen to English. This video provides B2 level English listening practice. If you'd like to practice with different levels, feel free to explore the other videos on our channel. Today's episode features a reflective monologue about AI, ethics, and the changing nature of empathy. Let's begin. Enjoy listening.
Hello, my name is Analis. I've been thinking a lot about certain viral AI videos I've seen recently. You may have come across them too, videos where someone presents a hyper-realistic cake shaped like an animal and then cuts into it with a knife in front of a real animal of the same species. At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. I thought, is that a real dog? Wait. No, it's a cake. But hold on. Why is there an actual dog watching someone slice open what looks exactly like another dog? And after a moment, the confusion faded and something sadder replaced it. Because these videos aren't harmless, they're definitely not funny. It's fear, raw, instinctive fear disguised as entertainment. The animal stares, confused, sometimes terrified. And the people behind the camera laugh. Millions of viewers laugh too. But what are we laughing at? A living being that believes, even for a moment, that another one of its kind is being hurt? What does that say about us? Technology doesn't invent morality. It reveals it. And what it reveals today is something we really need to reflect on. These videos explode online, shared endlessly with captions like, "Lol," or "so cute," but nothing about the animal's reaction is cute. It's distress. It's panic. And the fact that humans can watch that panic and still find it amusing says much more about us than about the technology. Let's talk about ethics for a moment. Not the heavy academic kind, but the everyday version. The ethics of kindness. The ethics of empathy. The ethics of making choices that do not harm others, even unintentionally. Artificial intelligence, at its best, can do incredible things. It can help disabled animals move again. It can analyze the emotional expressions of pets to help vets understand their pain levels. It can even help track endangered species with drones. Technology has so much potential for good. But the moment we use AI to create hyper-real illusions, and then use those illusions to trigger fear in living creatures, we cross into dangerous territory. Because suddenly the line between real cruelty and synthetic cruelty becomes blurry. And when the line blurs, empathy fades. Most people watching these videos don't think this animal is scared. They think this is funny. It doesn't matter. It was just a cake. They don't realize that even though the cake isn't alive, the fear is, the experience is, the emotional consequence is. Animals don't understand irony. Animals don't understand jokes. They feel what they feel, and feelings deserve respect. Now, why do these videos go viral? Why do people share them so quickly? Because fear is dramatic. Shock is exciting. Surprise grabs the attention of the brain faster than compassion does. That's how our survival instincts work. The more intense the stimulus, the faster we react. Social media algorithms know this. They reward intensity. They reward extremes. And so the content that spreads the fastest is rarely the content that is most humane. In the past, cruelty required intention. Today, cruelty can happen by accident, through a screen, with a joke, in a moment of thoughtlessness. Let's dig deeper. The real mystery isn't the behavior of the animals. That part is easy to understand. Confusion, fear, instinct. The complicated part is the human reaction. Why do people laugh? Why do millions click like? Why do audiences return for more? Psychologists call this the distancing effect. The screen creates distance, not physical distance, but emotional distance. When a moment of fear happens on a screen, the viewer doesn't fully register it as real. The brain assigns it a lower emotional value, as if watching a simulation rather than witnessing a real emotional event. We think things like, relax, it's just a video. It's not real pain. It's not really happening to me. And that distance changes everything. Fear becomes entertainment. Distress becomes a meme. Cruelty becomes comedy. Not because people are evil, but because the screen filters out emotional responsibility. People don't wake up planning to be cruel. But entertainment culture can slowly normalize cruelty by making it look harmless, humorous, or just a trend. And once something becomes a trend, it becomes harder to question. Let's dig deeper. The real mystery isn't the behavior of the animals. That part is easy to understand. Confusion, fear, instinct. The complicated part is the human reaction. Why do people laugh? Why do millions click like? Why do audiences return for more? Psychologists call this the distancing effect. The screen creates distance, not physical distance, but emotional distance. When a moment of fear happens on a screen, the viewer doesn't fully register it as real. The brain assigns it a lower emotional value, as if watching a simulation rather than witnessing a real emotional event. We think things like, relax, it's just a video. It's not real pain. It's not really happening to me. And that distance changes everything. Fear becomes entertainment, distress becomes a meme, cruelty becomes comedy. Not because people are evil, but because the screen filters out emotional responsibility. Now, here's where it gets more philosophical. We live in a world more connected than ever before. You can talk to someone in another country instantly. You can watch the life of a complete stranger on the other side of the planet. You can learn about tragedies and victories happening thousands of miles away. You would assume that this level of connection would make us more empathetic. But something else has happened. Compassion has competition. It competes with shock. It competes with novelty. It competes with distraction. It competes with the addictive design of digital platforms. Empathy is quiet. Distraction is loud. Empathy asks for time. The internet demands speed. Empathy requires attention. Digital media demands interaction. No wonder compassion feels harder today. Not because we lack humanity, but because we are overstimulated, overexposed, emotionally exhausted. But I'm not hopeless, not at all. If anything, I'm encouraged, because the very fact that people are discussing these videos, questioning them, debating them, means empathy is still alive. It hasn't disappeared. It's evolving. Every generation faces a new moral challenge. This is ours. We get to choose how we use AI. We get to choose what we reward online. We get to choose what we normalize. Maybe the next viral trend won't be about frightening animals. Maybe it will be about comforting them. Maybe AI can help us understand animal emotions better. Maybe it can help us protect wildlife. Maybe it can help us teach compassion, not undermine it. The future of ethics won't be written by machines. It will be written by us, by the choices we make, the content we reward, the values we encourage. That is the moral landscape we shape every day.
Great job! You've just completed an advanced B2 level listening practice with a deep and meaningful topic. Today, you explored complex ideas about empathy, digital psychology, and the ethics of AI. If you found this content helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who is also learning English. Every step you take brings you closer to fluency. Keep learning, keep thinking, and keep growing. See you in the next video.